We have mic now? We have mic now. Everyone, welcome to another Autophagy live stream. Good morning to everyone, although it is probably evening for many of you today. Here in Manila, here in the Philippines, it is Monday, February 23rd. It is nice to have you on here today. It is nice to see some people being accountable. I see people in Instagram as well. Dave, I'm here for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you notice the topic on my live stream, today we're going to talk about the 120-hour fast. And I'll get into that in a second. But a 120-hour fast is a 5-day fast. And I'm letting you all know right now, I am going to be working on a 5-day fast, not starting today, but starting after I eat dinner tonight. So if any of you are interested in doing a fast together, I have not pushed anything past a 4-day fast in who knows how long. I would have to check my stats on that. It's been a minute. But I will be attempting and most likely succeeding on a 5-day fast. Now, if you want the short story of, Jerome, why are you going to do a 5-day fast? Let's just say that this month in February, even though I gave myself a ton of goals, my eating has not been in control. And because my eating has not been in control, I have told myself it is time to really use your weight loss tools to your advantage. What is the number one weight loss tool that I have? It is fasting. And it's one of the reasons I am going to be pushing a 5-day fast. If you think about it, a 5-day fast from here on out, or when I start later this evening after fasting or after eating dinner, is that will push me until March 1st. Before I can even continue, though, I didn't even realize it. Andre with a $5 super sticker. Andre, thank you for your continued support. Andre, it's so nice to have you. Welcome, welcome. I don't know what that sticker looks like just yet, but I will take a look at that later after the live stream. So thank you so much for your continued support. As always, Andre, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Before I can continue on as well, I might as well say hi to people in here in chat. So Andre, hello again, and thank you for your support. Tanisha, to Kevin, to A, to North Dakota, to Scratcher. It's nice to have you on here. To people on Instagram as well, 200% Lift asked, has fasting messed up your metabolism at all? No. I think a lot of you need to get this out of your head as well. I've been fasting now for over 2 years. Today is day 841 of my journey. I have had so many positive effects of fasting. And here's the thing, just because I do prolonged fast doesn't mean that every day is a prolonged fast as well. What is it that you're worried about your metabolism? That your metabolism is going to tank? A lot of this is more likely if you were to just, there are many ways to look at this, but I guess maybe without getting too scientific about it, no, you're going to be okay. Obviously, my experience is different than many others, but for most people that I've worked with and most people that I've coached, it is not an issue. I think this would be something more if you were working on extreme levels here, but not something I would worry about. So let's talk about this, because today I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Today we're going to dig into the nerd stats. I will answer questions as they come in. I will talk to you all here in chat. Sherry, nice to have you. Sherry says, brand new to your channel. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. Fran, hello. How's it going? Melly Mel, nice to see you. Sun Smothered, hello. Welcome. And again, to people on Instagram, thank you so much for being here today. This is an accountability live stream. This is where I will share with you how I am doing on my fasting journey, my weight loss journey, my health and happiness journey. Because remember, this isn't just about fasting. This isn't even just about weight loss. This is about being the happiest and healthiest you can be. So while I advocate for fasting, while it is something that I do on a regular basis, it's also important that you understand that this is more than just that. But if you saw the title of this live stream, I will be working on a 5-day fast later this week, starting tonight. And I'll get into that in a second as I start talking about all of my stats here. Mr. Fufu, nice to see you. Sade or Sad Eyes, Sad Eyes, welcome. First time catching you live. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Michael says, should I take my Synthroid while fasting? Michael, I have no idea what Synthroid is, but I can at least tell you this. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give you medical advice. So if that is something that your doctor has given you, you need to talk to your doctor. I cannot give out advice like that, and completely understandable, or it should be. So if you're planning on fasting, that's something that you need to talk to your doctor about. Maybe not what you want to hear, but I am not here to give medical advice when it comes to that. I'm here to share my journey and what my journey looks like. I encourage other people to share their journey as well. But remember, you have to do what works for you. So maybe you'll keep me posted and let me know how that goes. Stephanie, nice to see you. Hi, Jerome. Finally caught a live stream. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. So let's talk about why I'm doing a 5-day fast. This month in February has been kind of all over the place. My goal for February was just to keep, well, I had a lot of goals. And actually, let's go ahead and let's talk about those goals, right? Today is Wednesday, February 23rd. Today is 841 of my journey. I have been doing this now for over 2 years. I have lost the weight initially in less than 5 months, and I have now kept it off for over 2 years. While I am very proud of losing the weight quickly, I am more proud of the fact that I have kept it off for over 2 years. That's a big thing for me. Spike, how's it going? When does the 5-day fast start? Tonight. After I eat dinner tonight, I'm going to push a 5-day fast until March 1st. So if you're in it with me, Spike, let me know. And I'm going to talk about why I'm doing this, why I'm doing a longer fast, but I will also share with you what my attempts are to get through it, how I'm going to get through it. But let's talk about the beginning here. Dark Roast on Instagram asks, did you only drink water, or do you have any suggestions for drink options? Dark Roast, I have videos on this, but for me, I did not just drink water. I continue. There are days where I will only drink water, but there are also other days where I'll have a black iced coffee. I will have an unsweetened iced tea. I will drink a 0-calorie drink. So it's up to you what works. Just because you can't do water one day doesn't mean you can't do it another. Doesn't mean you can't have something. If the end goal is to just lose weight and get weight off on the scale, drink a 0-calorie drink. Do what works for you. Thanks for letting me know, Michael. That's, again, talk to your doctor. See if it's something that you still can do. And I tell people this too. If you can't do a long fast, then it's time to work on eating better. It's time to start on getting your exercise in. There are many things that we can do for ourselves to just be happy and healthy. Thank you, 200% fit. I appreciate the kind comments. BMF says, do you ever do a parasite cleanse? No. I honestly do not do anything except fast and try to eat as healthy as I can, even though that doesn't happen often. And I exercise and I sleep well and I take care of my mental health. I've heard of similar things like that, but I've never done any type of cleanse, if you're asking. For anybody who's watching this right now, I might as well just go back here because I haven't even shared the stats. I'm 45 years old. Just to give, I know there are people who are on here on Instagram who probably have never seen me go live. Usually FYI, Instagram will cut out my live stream in around an hour. So if you want to watch the rest of this live stream, you'll have to move over to YouTube or Facebook to watch the rest. But I'm 45 years old. I have lost this weight and kept it off for over 2 years naturally at this point. I don't take medication. I am not on any kind of peptides, right? I'm not on Ozempic or anything like that. I've never had weight loss surgery. Anyway, I can go on and on, but just to give you that reference. So let's talk about this 5-day fast. Let me talk to you about why I am pushing a long fast. So As I've been doing this now for over 2 years, one of the big reasons that I have continued to keep this weight off over the last 841 days is not because I have done things perfectly. It is because I have practiced something that I call imperfect consistency. In the last 841 days, it's not like every day has been perfect, but what has happened over the last 841 days is I continue to show up day after day after day. I am accountable day after day after day. And while I am talking about doing something like a prolonged fast, which most people, that's what people want to hear. Oh, you're doing a long fast. I want to do one with you, which is fine. But the real question is when you are not fasting for prolonged periods of time, when you are doing shorter fasts, maybe even on days where you're just doing an OMAD or you're doing a 16-8 and eating twice a day, what is happening on those days? Are you showing up for yourself on those days? Or on the days where you're fasting for shorter, are you not showing up at all? Are you not hitting a timer at all? Are you just saying, well, fuck it, I don't want to deal with today. I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to start tomorrow. It's Sunday evening for many of you out west. How many of you are saying, I'm starting tomorrow? Sound familiar? If that is something that you do on a regular basis, if that's something you do and then for a week or 2 weeks passes by and you're like, you know what, now I'm going to start. Now I'm going to start. What has happened in those 2 weeks? Anything? Or are you cycling in and out? Are you just digging a deeper hole? If you're watching this and it resonates with you, my advice to you is stop. Get out of that cycle of I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to start over. There's a reason I've been doing this for 841 days. My goals for February, and I'm going to talk to you about how a lot of this has led me to do a 5-day fast. My goals for February is to track my weight daily, to track all of my fasts, to track all of my refeeds, to track my calories, my protein, my steps, perform strength training, and sleep well. All of these things are common sense things. Why do I track my weight daily so I'm accountable? Why do I track every single fast so I'm accountable? Why do I track my calories and my protein so I can stay accountable, so I can stay mindful, so I can stay aware of what I'm doing? Why do I do all of these things? Because each and every one of these things is what will help lead me to a better, happier, and healthier life. If you are in here thinking this should only be about fasting, this should only about eating the cleanest, this should only be, you're sorely mistaken because life doesn't work that way. Life is going to throw whatever it wants at you and does not care. Just like I said, when you stand on the scale does not give a fuck about you. It does not care about how you feel, what the weight says. All the scale does is read off whatever it's supposed to do, just like life. Life is not going to bend over backwards for you. What you need to understand is you need to access all the tools when it comes to your weight loss journey. I understand the appeal of doing a long fast. I understand the appeal of, oh, Jerome's going to do a longer fast. I'm in, which is great. But also, where have you been when I talk about doing a 40 some hour fast? Are you in then? Are you working on something then? And this is why the importance of doing this on a regular basis, showing imperfect consistency, can be so important. BMF says that is helpful. Daily tracking, I'm adding to my routine. Thank you. BMF, my only other advice to you as well is yes, tracking is a way to be mindful. But what I am also preaching more about is showing accountability. So when I do these live streams on Sundays and Tuesdays and Thursday nights, can you show up on those days and share and be like, hey, I'm here. I'm still here. I had a bad day, but you know what? I'm still here. I'm doing what I need to do. So just think about that as time pushes on. DBS says, how come you eat a week's worth of calories during a refeed? Well, first of all, if I was eating a week's worth of calories, that would be 16,000 calories. So I don't eat a week's worth of calories, although I will eat 2 or 3 days worth of calories in one sitting. I will eat 4 days of calories or more in one sitting. Why do I do it? Because I have a problem when it comes to volume of food. I eat a lot. even for someone like me who's 145 pounds and is only 5'3" I eat a lot. It's not that I am doing it on purpose. It is just what I do. I have been doing this my whole life as somebody who used to eat probably double that amount. And when I talk about double, I'm talking about 20,000 calories or more. So for me to be able to eat 6,000 calories is honestly a big win for me. So just FYI, hopefully that's helpful. Pamela on Facebook. Hi, nice to see you. Pamela asks, do you have knowledge for people who have had bypass and want to fast to tighten loose skin? So I get a lot of this. For when you talk about bypass, I'm not exactly sure. Are you talking about weight loss surgery or are you talking about, I'm guessing you're talking about weight loss surgery. You're not talking about like heart surgery, right? If you're talking about loose skin, here's the thing, and I talk about this all the time as well. I have loose skin. I have loose skin here on my lower my lower neck. My neck, I have loose skin on my upper arms. I have loose skin on my lower belly, on my upper inner thighs. The fact of the matter is I have loose skin. A lot of people have seen what I look like with my shirt off, with the loose skin. If that's something you're ever curious about, you can go to watch my latest Instagram short or Facebook short or whatever, or Instagram reel is what I meant, YouTube short. But the thing is, I have been overweight, obese, morbidly obese my entire life. And again, this is just for someone who wore a size 38 waist. I was very big for where I was at. And this was me my entire life. And so I talk to you right now with loose skin, but I don't think it's that bad. One of the things that I do for myself to help tighten that skin is I weight lift. If you, and I'm not saying weightlifting is going to fix it, I'm just saying that it helps fill in the gaps, if you will. It helps me in that way. I also don't know if that's truly what is fixing it. I don't know if, right, people say fasting. Fasting is why you look the way you do, Jerome, because you fast and it helps with the skin. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I'm also not a doctor. I don't have scientific proof. I can just show you what I have been doing now for the last 2+ years. So my only advice when it comes to that is just keep working on you. Work out, be healthy, put on muscle, get that aesthetic, and hopefully that might be helpful in that regard. Other than that, there are probably other people in here who can share some of their advice. It's gastric bypass surgery. I see what you're saying, Pamela. Yeah, again, maybe there are other people in chat who can help, but I can just share my own personal experience. If you are looking for more minute detail on that, I would say maybe take a look at my last Instagram reel that I put out where I have my shirt off and you can see what my loose skin looks like. Again, from somebody who weighed as heavy as 235, who got down to around 125 at my lowest, that's 110 pounds. This is kind of where I'm at right now. I don't worry about it so much. For me, the only thing that's important right now is I continue to be happy and healthy. And yes, I want to maybe deal with my loose skin in the future, but I am not at my goal right now. I still have more muscle to put on. I still have more fat to lose. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah, 200% Lift says, I've heard that water fasting helps with loose skin, but like you, not 100% sure. Me neither, right? And I'm just being as honest and transparent as I can be, because a big problem with what's happening, especially on social media or whatever, is everybody thinks they have the cure. Everybody thinks there is one specific way to, and I like to tell people the only thing that I know for sure is if you eat 0 calories, you will lose weight. If you eat 0 calories, you will lose body fat. If you eat 0 calories, you will get that scale to push itself down. That I know for a fact. You do it for prolonged amounts of time, you will lose that weight. I am proof of that. I have shown that time and time again. I have shown that with the people that I have worked with and coached. If you fast, you're going to lose weight. It's common sense. But let's get back into the 5-day fast and why I am going to be performing something so long that I have not done in a while. Um, Teresita asks, hi, Teresita. Am I saying that right? Teresita. What do you have during your fast? Bone broth? I don't take any calories in, so I don't even have bone broth. I typically just have water. I'll have an black iced coffee, an unsweetened tea, and I will drink an occasional 0 calorie drink. So just FYI, hopefully that's helpful for you. It doesn't mean you have to do what I do. Remember, this is the important thing. People need to stop doing exactly what I do. You can do it if it's helpful for you. You can do it if you feel encouraged. But for example, if you want to have bone broth, have bone broth. Does it mean you have to have bone broth every single time you fast? No, it doesn't. I like to tell people, try it, see if you like it. If you don't like it, move on to something else. Try something else. Do not, for many people, do not fall for whatever people are telling you on social media. Don't just do it because someone else is doing it. When I talk about doing a 65-hour fast, that number isn't a number that somebody else did and said, oh, I want to do that. I did it because it's what worked for me. When I talk about a 120-hour fast that I am currently working on, or that I will be working on after I refeed tonight, that is because, yes, it's a 5-day fast. Will I hit exactly 120? Probably not. I'll probably be somewhere around there, but we will see. Do not fall for these arbitrary numbers. Even the weight on the scale, when you and me, when we push to be, oh, I want to get into Wonderland. I want to be under 200 pounds. This is no different when people talk about, I want to be under 75 kilograms. I want to be under whatever, right? These are just arbitrary numbers. We put these things in our head. We have to do it this way. It has to, this is all or nothing thinking. Do what works for you, right? Figure out what your journey looks like and push on with that. So let's get back into the stats here. My goals for February was very simple, even though it might not be, but it's to track my weight, track my fast, track my refeeds, track my calories, track my protein, track my steps, track my strength training, sleep, right? These are common sense things that we all can do. Will I hit every single one of these goals? No, I will not. I will absolutely not. But what is the least common denominator here? What is the least common denominator for my goals for February? It's easy. It's to track. To track. Why do I track? Why is tracking important? Because tracking keeps me accountable. Tracking keeps my mind aware. You know what this is like. Imagine when you don't track your weight and the only time you step on the scale is when you fast. That is the only time you step on the scale. But when you eat 2 days in a row, when you go out for the weekend and you drink, are you stepping on that scale? Most likely not. Why? Because you don't want to be mindful about it. Because you want to pretend it didn't happen. Because you're afraid to see what the number on the scale says. So instead of looking at that scale as data, you are looking at that scale as your emotion, right? You are using that scale as your emotional, either your emotional friend to encourage you and be like, yeah, see, you're losing the weight. Or you're looking at it emotionally and saying, fuck, I don't like what that number says. So now I am going to react negatively towards it. Use them as tools and tools only. It is common sense to do a lot of these things. What's more important is, can you do this on a regular basis? So let's get into the facts here. If you look at my weight for the month of February so far, on the 1st of February, I weighed in at 149.2, and you'll see that number on the scale has kind of gone up and down, but it has relatively stayed the same, somewhere between 144, 147. Sometimes it'll push up past 150 after a refeed, but this number has relatively stayed the same for the month of February. In fact, this morning when I weighed in at 147.4. So keeping my weight at a relatively similar number. Spike, Spike, I know you've been a member for a while, but Spike, thank you for rejoining and being part of the Finally Fasting fam. I appreciate your support as always. Can we throw some F's up for Spike here? Spike, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thanks again for your support. I appreciate it so much. So let's go ahead and get back into these stats here. Like I said, my weight has stayed relatively the same. Am I hung up on my weight right now? I am not. I do not care so much about what the number says. What I am more interested in is, Can I continue to lose excess body fat? Can I continue to put on more muscle? Can I lose more body fat? Can I put on more muscle? Can I retain my muscle? These are the things that are important for me. That is what's important for me on my journey. For many of you, it should be the same. Do not worry about a number on the scale. Think more along the lines of, am I retaining my muscle? Am I putting on muscle? Am I continuing to lose body fat? When you start worrying about a number on the scale, you are not thinking about the real life goals here. If you aren't thinking about real victories, like, is my blood work going to be optimal? Am I going to put my type 2 diabetes into remission? Is my blood sugar going to be where it needs to be? Atlanta Angel, it's so nice to have you on here. I appreciate you being here. Atlanta Angel says consistency is key. And I agree, right? And even more importantly, I think too, is imperfect consistency is just as much key as consistency. So let's get back into this. My weight has stayed relatively the same. And this really wasn't my goal for February. My goal for February was not to stay consistent in weight. It was to have a downward trend. And as I look at these numbers, it's not so much a downward trend. It seems like it's a straight line, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it also looks like there's an uptick here. And for somebody like me who's still trying to lose excess body fat, and listen, it is not like I am overweight. It is not like I am obese or morbidly obese, but I am trying to lean out. I'm trying to be in the best body shape I can be, even at 45. And because my eating has still been out of control, it is something that I need to be better at. And if I cannot get my eating in control, what else can I do for myself? I can fast. And they're doing construction somewhere here, so hopefully it's not too loud. It's okay. In terms of my weight, you'll see, again, relatively the same. After fasting, my weight goes somewhere between 143 to 147. Over the last 3 weeks here, you'll see that. This is my weight after completing a fast. It lies anywhere between 100, let's just say it's somewhere around 145 pounds over this entire month. I wanted this to be lower. I wanted to push the weight on the scale down, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry too much about it. My fasts over the month of February have averaged 47 hours and 12 minutes. The fasts have been about a 2-day fast. And even though I'm doing 2-day fasts, my weight has not pushed itself down. It's just stayed around the same. Why? Because of my eating. Because of my eating. Let's not forget how important that part of your journey is. When it comes to my refeed times, when I break a fast, I'm eating somewhere around 9 hours throughout that day. Some days shorter, most days a lot longer. It is something that I have changed over time because I've been trying to fast, or I've been trying to refeed for longer so that I can control my calories throughout longer refeeds. This has been a very hard thing for me to do. In terms of my weight after I refeed, yes, I put on weight after I eat. If I'm eating 4,000 calories, 6,000 calories, 8,000 calories, I will push up weight on the scale. And while my weight is somewhere around 145 pounds after fasting, my weight after eating is somewhere around 150 pounds. And that has rung true this entire month for February. While I wanted these numbers to move itself down a little bit, they have not, which is why I am now talking about pushing a longer fast. But let's talk about that as well. You'll see here, anything highlighted in yellow means I was over my calorie limit. Anything highlighted in orange means I was a lot more over my calorie limit. Anything in red means I was way over my calorie limit. Anything in green means I was at or under my calorie limit. How many things do you see here in green? None of them. None of them. What does that mean? That means that every single time I have eaten on my refeeds, none of them have been under my calorie limit. At no point during this month have I eaten at a calorie limit under 4,000. And understand this too. It's not like 4,000 calories is a small number of calories. In fact, that is more calories than most people can eat. But you'll see I'm eating 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 9,000 calories on a refeed. So I want you to understand why I am now working on a 5-day fast, because I have not kept the calories in control. And even though I'm averaging about a 2-day fast, I still cannot get the weight to push itself down. Bry asks, did you end up ever experimenting with combining fasting with the sugar diet on your refeeds? No, I haven't. I tried it and it gave me an immediate boost in energy and helped me to maintain my weight. If you're looking for my honest opinion on that, I tried it and I told myself, why would I do this when I can just eat healthier? Right? Because here's the thing, Bry. I look at this, and while that is something that can work or has worked, for me, I want to make sure I prioritize my protein. I lift, I want to retain my muscle. If I am going to be restricting calories, restricting macros in a specific way, I would rather just eat super clean and eat the things I'm supposed to be eating. But again, that's my take on it. So while I attempted to do it, the very first day I tried doing it, I told myself, I don't want to do this. I would rather just eat healthy. That's what it came down for me. Of course, 200% lift. You're very welcome. I mean, one of the reasons I do what I do is for transparency, for accountability. A lot of people do not take that into account because everyone is looking for a quick fix. And I understand that while it's desirable, people want to see quick fixes, the reality of your journey on your weight loss is this shit is boring. This shit will be boring. This shit is repetitive. This shit is not a glorious thing where every single day is just going to be weight loss day after day after day. Although it's happened to me. For any of you who have watched my journey since the very beginning, if you want to see me at my heaviest weight, go look when I live streamed in November of 2024 on YouTube. And for people who are watching me on Instagram right now, remember, if this live stream ends abruptly, that's because there's a time limit on Instagram. You can move yourself over to Facebook or YouTube if you want to watch me there. 200% Lift says, do you think you should focus on the calories being restricted a little more versus fast extension? Yes, absolutely, 200. So here's the thing. That's all I've been doing for the last however long. I have known forever that my calories have been difficult. So even though I'm showing these numbers of eating 6,000 calories, 8,000 calories, this used to be 15,000 calories, 20,000 plus calories. They used to be uncontrolled binges where I did not even track that. So what I am doing now, and that's why I don't even fast for 90 hours anymore. I don't have to fast for that long because I have kept the weight in control, right? So again, it is a journey and it doesn't change overnight. It's not like all of a sudden one day I'm going to be eating 2,000 calories perfectly. This is a hard journey for me. And I also know that if I ever get to that point, I also know it will never be like that forever. I will have a struggle. I will have a challenge. And that's why I do what I do. So my average for the month of February is way over where I want it to be. I'm averaging right now, anytime I eat, I'm averaging 6,700 calories. At least the only upside to this is my protein is over 350 grams per refeed, which puts me over the average based on how many calories I'm eating on average. So again, right? Like, even though I'm eating a lot of calories, I also understand that I'm still trying to prioritize protein to make that an important part of my journey. It's like saying, okay, if you're going to eat this much, at least put some good food in you every now and again. Erica, it's nice to see you. And actually, I see this comment here, and Erica says, I realized, like you, Jerome, I'm eating too many calories and not fasting long enough. I lost 20 pounds and stayed the same for the past 2 weeks, up and down, still being accountable on the sheet. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you being honest about that as well. And even as Erica says something like this, I say this to people on Instagram and anyone who's watching this right now. This is the importance of showing up. Is if you show up every day, even on the days you don't want to show up, even if you are just hitting your timer, even if you are just tracking your calories, even if the calories are completely off the rails, if you stay accountable every day, this is how you learn and you grow. So when Erica says something like, I realize that I am still eating too much, I realize that I am not fasting long enough. When people say things like that, that is growth. That is evolution. Because if you are not growing, imagine this. If you are not realizing those things and you say to yourself, I'm just going to start on Monday, I'm just going to walk away from this and I'll come back next week. I'll come back if it's a Wednesday, and you'll say, you know what, I'll just wait for Jerome on Sunday and then I'll start on Monday. What happens during those days? You're not showing up. What you're doing instead is you're walking away from it. You're not learning. All you're doing is the same shit you've been doing for weeks, for months, for years, or like me, for decades, right? You're not showing up. How will you ever learn if you don't show up? Imagine, right? I'm here in Manila. I'm currently learning to speak Tagalog, right? I'm learning how to be fluent in Tagalog, just like I have been learning how to speak Japanese. Imagine if the only times that I wanted to speak Tagalog or learn Tagalog is once a week, because the other days I don't want to think about it. And then on a Sunday or a Monday, I'm like, okay, today, Jerome, you're going to spend 8 hours practicing and learning Tagalog. And then for the next 6 days, you're not going to do any of it. Do you learn that way? You could probably learn a bit that way, but I can tell you that is probably not the most efficient way of learning. This is no different when it comes to your health and wellness journey. This is no different than learning how to fast short periods of time, long periods of time. This is no different than learning how to eat your calories under control, maybe even eating your calories over, but still learning from it. Understanding maybe I need to make better choices. Maybe I need to do something different than the same shit I've been doing time and time again. This is the importance of showing up and being imperfectly consistent. So let's talk about the reality of this. I know this might be hard for people to see these numbers, especially if you're not watching me on YouTube or you're just watching me on mobile, but this is pretty much my calories in, calories out on a day-to-day basis. Anything you see in green means I was in a caloric deficit, meaning that I kept my calories in check. Anything in red means I put myself in a caloric surplus. So you'll see a couple red, but you'll see a lot of green. So this is me keeping my calories in check. Now, as we head into week number 2, you'll notice there's a lot more red. There's a lot of days where I eat so much that I'm still in a caloric surplus day in, day out. Even after a 0-calorie day, I'm still in a caloric surplus. Why? Because I'm eating too much. Take a look at week 3. This is the most current week. I mean, we're currently in week 4, but look at week 3. Week 3 is all in the red. Even though I've fasted for multiple days, it's all in the red. What does that mean? What is the underlying story here? I'm eating too much. That's literally all it comes down to. So even though I'm fasting for 2 days, or I'm fasting for 48 plus hours, even though I fasted for 65 hours, this shit is still in the red. I'm still at a caloric surplus because I'm eating too much. And as we look at the yesterday, so I've been doing this. Today is the 23rd of February. It's the 22nd, or, of course, nothing is put here for the 23rd because it's not over yet. But in 22 days, I have eaten close to 61,000 calories, and my calories out are around 51,000. I'm at a 10,000 caloric surplus. Hi, Juicy Jenny. Nice to have you. Thanks for showing up here on Instagram. I appreciate you being here. Understand that I am still eating way too much. And if you look at the very bottom here, For the month of February, I should be eating no more than 400 calories. That is the caloric limit of where I should be. I'm already at 95% of that limit. In fact, when I refeed tonight, that gives me about 3,500 calories to play with. While 3,500 calories might be a lot to many of you, I know it isn't for me. I know most likely I will be going over that calorie limit. But Jerome, then that means that you should just be better about. I know. I understand that. I understand that the calorie part is the hard part for me. What am I good at? Fasting. And as you look at this right now, you already understand. You should understand why I am about to push a 5-day fast. Because today, on the 23rd, when I eat, I will probably eat more than 3,500 calories. It will probably put me over the 64,000 calorie threshold I put for myself for the month of February, and I will fail with this goal. Now, do I look at it as complete failure? No. But you should understand now why I will be performing a 5-day fast for the entire rest of February. It is to make sure that I keep myself in check. Now, are these calories accurate? Are these calories exact? Have I truly eaten close to 61,000 calories right now? Most likely not. Most likely, these numbers are exaggerated. But I do that on purpose. I will eat or I will overestimate my calories on purpose so that I am aware and I don't overdo it. Because there is nothing worse than underestimating my calories. What do I mean by that? That means that, let's say I went out and I had pizza and I had a burger and I had cheesecake and I had a salad, right? And then I ate all of that. And then you asked me how many calories I ate. And I said, 600. You know that's bullshit. I would rather say I ate 3,000 and overestimate. Now, am I completely overestimating? No. I'm still trying to be as accurate as I can be, but I am making sure that I overestimate on calories so I keep myself in check. Which is why I am now going to be pushing for a longer fast. For the month of February, or at least in the last 22 days, that shouldn't say 1 to 15 at the top there, that should say 1 to 22. I have put myself at a 10,000 caloric surplus, or about 3 pounds of body fat. Have I truly gained 3 pounds of body fat? I am guessing no. My clothes still fit well. My weight is still relatively the same, but I know I could lose more. But I also know that as I have been tracking, as I have gotten closer to my 64,000 calorie limit for the month of February, I told myself, you might as well put yourself on a long fast. Why? Because I know that a 5-day fast, even though I have not done one in, I can't remember when, and I'll check that next time, I know I'll be completely fine. I know that I can afford to lose excess body fat. I know that I can afford to actually take some time off from lifting. I have been lifting pretty much every other day for the last couple months. And I told myself, why not take some time to do an extended fast, take less time walking as much, take a break from lifting, and just push a longer fast and see where it takes you for the end of February. And then in March, we can try again to eat better, eat cleaner, eat less. Now, do you have to fast for this long? No, you don't. But if any of you are interested in doing a fast as long as I am, doing a 120-hour minimum fast, I invite you to fast along with me as long as you can healthily do so. Now, understand this. If you do not do a fast for that long, it does not mean you failed. If you don't do a fast for this long, it does not mean that you are not worthy, that you are less valued, right? Because I say this even to myself. Am I going to do a 5-day fast 100% guaranteed? No. Maybe on day 3, I'm just not feeling it. Maybe on day 3, I can't take it any longer. But I also know that fasting is an easy tool for me. It is the best tool that I can use. It is one tool that I am very good at. Just like other people here might have very good control of their eating. They have very good cardio exercise. They're always making sure they're getting their workouts in. For me, My fasting is my number one strength. My exercise is probably up there as well. My strength training is up there as well. But you know what I suck at? I suck at eating. I cannot control the volume of the way I eat. I am trying. I am always putting effort in, but I know even for the month of February, it's been out of hand. I know that today, if I try to eat under 3,500 calories, I will try, but I most likely will not succeed. And that's okay because I am pushing a 5-day fast after that. Today is the 23rd of February here in the Philippines. I will probably be starting my fast tonight after I finish eating later in the evening, and I will probably fast from the 23rd of the evening all the way until March 1st when it's time to break. I am not saying you have to fast for this long. If you want to join me, if you want to be up for the challenge, I invite you because then we're doing it together. Then you don't feel alone. Then you feel like, oh, Jerome's doing it. I want to do it too. Sure, be a part of that. Let me know. 200% Lift asks, how are you going to measure the fat loss? I can't. I don't have the science. The only way that I can measure a lot of this is just how I feel in my clothes, how my clothes fit. But here's the thing too, is I'm wearing boys' clothes. I wear extra small adult shirts, right? I wear very small clothes. I usually go by the feel of things. I know when I feel bloated. I know if I'm, a bit much, but I use my non-scale victories for that. Yes, I look at the weight on the scale, but when it comes to fat loss, it just comes down to more or less, hey, am I looking leaner, right? Are my muscles showing more? Like those are the things that I kind of go off of. But if you're looking for that actual answer, 200% lift, I get DEXA scans done. I get DEXA scans done that shows how much actual lean mass I have and how much body fat I have. When I had my DEXA scan done, when I first was at my heaviest weight, my guess is I was somewhere between probably 40 or 45% body fat. And then in 2025 of November, no, 2024 of November, that's when I started my journey. I started my journey in 2023, right? November of 2023, restarted my journey. In 2024 of November, my body fat percentage went down to 20%. In November of 2025, my body fat percentage went down to 17.5%. So we'll see what it looks like for 2026. Spike with a $10 super chat. Spike, again, I appreciate your continued support. Spike with a $10 super chat says, Jerome, approximately what time does your 120-hour fast start in the USA? So if I start tonight at let's say 11 p.m. or even let's say right at midnight, that's going to be somewhere between 9 and 10 a.m. Central Time, or 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern Time. That's what time I'd be starting. So if you want to start it around the same time as I am, go for it. But if you're like me and you want to eat your last meal in the evening, start it Sunday evening, right? I mean, what time is it there right now? Oh, it's the evening right now. Ah, I see what you're saying. So for some people, you'd have to start right now if you're eating your last meal. But if you want to start this with me, if any of you want to start this with me, I will probably be starting tonight somewhere around or for people out in the West, around 9 to 10 a.m. Central Time, because I'm going to start somewhere at around 11 p.m. tonight here in Manila. Spike, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate your continued support as always. Thanks so much for the donation. Atlanta Angel asks, will you make a video every day to let us know how the fast is going? I can try to do that. This is a very busy week for me. So I said this earlier, but I am actually, and for people who don't know, I am moving again. I'm not moving out of the Philippines. I'm moving into a different place in Manila. Now that I've been here for 3 months, I know exactly where I want to be. I think many of you know I love being in like the city side of things. I like being close to like a train station and all of that. And so I have now figured out where I'm going to be moving to. So I have a lot of things happening this week. But I will try, Atlanta Angel. Maybe at least I can put an update. I mean, I'll be here on Tuesday evenings and Thursday evenings, but if I can put a video out and give you an update on that 5-day fast, I mean, I will try to do that. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Where am I at here? I'm like looking at my time to see if I have good time. And again, just to share the rest of these stats, remember, this isn't just about fasting. Yes, I put my steps in. I try to average 12,000 a day. You'll see here, right now, my average step count is 12,980 steps. So I'm way above the average when it comes to that. I'm way over, even though there are days I have less than 12,000. My sleep is awful. This is something I need to continue working on. But right now, I'm averaging over 5.5 hours of sleep. This is an awful number. This is something I need to continue working on. Remember, to all of you here, this is about every single facet of yourself. You should be working on every single thing when it comes to your journey. The 80-20 rule, just to give you a quick rundown for people who are not familiar with this, I have had more bad days than I've had more good days than bad days, but the ratio is off. I should have about 80% good days and 20% bad days. But right now, it's more like a 60-40 split, which is why my weight has relatively stayed the same or has had a very slight uptick, which, if you think about it, is not that bad. The fact that I'm not even on an 80-20 split and my weight has stayed relatively the same, I think speaks a lot to all of the other things I'm continuing to do for myself. Aisha's in for the 5-day. Nice to see that. I know Spike said that as well. Looks like Erica's in as well. Looks like many of you are in. So it'll be great to do this together, which actually, honestly, even for Atlanta Angel to say this, maybe I should do daily updates on my videos so that you know that we're in it together. Adiva asks, are you in the countryside? I'm not in the countryside. I still live in a very, very busy part of Manila. But for me, when I lived in Chicago, I lived in a very busy part of Chicago. I lived in a part of Chicago where literally I could be out at 2 a.m. and people would still be out. I lived right across a train station. I lived in the thick of things. I have lived my life like this for pretty much my entire life. I live in a very this is actually a really interesting thing. And I know this is a little off topic here, but like, New York, right? If I could live anywhere in the US, it would be New York. It's so expensive to live there. And I know it's not everyone's dream to live in a busy area. But here's the thing about Manila versus New York. In Manila, or let's talk about Metro Manila, because Metro Manila is huge. Metro Manila is just, let's just talk in Manila, Metro Manila in general. The density of Metro Manila is double the density of New York City. It is twice the amount of density where I live here in Metro Manila. But it is even smaller in landmass than New York City. So it is even denser here. It is so dense here. And I am actually moving to an even denser part of Manila. Just FYI, for anybody who's wondering. So, okay. That's pretty much my stats. That's what I wanted to share. I just wanted to let you all know that I am working on a 5-day fast, and this 5-day fast will start for me later tonight, or for people who live out in the West, it will start at around 9 a.m. Central Time, Chicago time, 10 a.m. New York time, Eastern time. So if this is something you want to join me in on doing, feel free to do so. So it's up to all of you. Adiva says, yes, I live in New York. I live in Brooklyn. That's where, and honestly, Adiva, I was this close to moving to New York. It was either 2024, late 2020. I can't remember exactly. I almost pulled the trigger, but I didn't. But yes, anyway, that's a whole different story, talking about something like that. So 5-day fast, yes, that is something I'm working on. I will put this to all of you out here right now. If you want to work on this 5-day fast, I just want you to remember, if it isn't a 5-day fast, there's nothing wrong with that. Do not feel guilty. Don't feel shameful. Don't feel embarrassed. Live your life. continue doing what you're doing. You know what it takes to be happy and healthy. Continue doing that. I know we're almost rounding up on an hour here. So I'm going to say this as I look this way to my Instagram people who are watching me. If this ends on Instagram for you, you can move over to YouTube and watch me on YouTube if you'd like under the same name, because I think Instagram only puts a 1 hour limit on these. So just FYI. So, okay, that's where I'm at today. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take some time to just talk to people here in chat who I might have missed. So just to see if anybody wants to share their story, you can share it now. Tell me how you're doing. Ask any questions, feel free. North Dakota says, I finally completed my first 7-day fast, the first week of February, 181 hours. Oh, I remember. I think you were talking about that. That's right. So because I know I was talking about prolonged fasts earlier. So thanks again sharing with us, North Dakota. Sun Smothered says, I fell off hard off my 5-2 fasting cycle this weekend, starting back strong tomorrow, but fasting for 3 days this week instead of 5. I love that, Sun Smothered, because number one, you're being honest about what's happening, but also number two, even though right now maybe you're not going to be able to fast for 5, you're still doing something. You're still showing up. You're still being here. You're not letting it get the best of you. So I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing with us. Melly Mel says, I want to try a 5-day with you. Melly Mel, let's go for it. Let's do it. From one Chicago into another. Let's go for it. I just set a timer for a 48-hour fast since my stomach's been feeling better. My weight has been at a standstill all month. I need a good kickstart. Well, if you're looking for that motivation, I mean, I'm about to do one. So, and even just seeing all of you wanting to be in it with me, it pushes me to be like, yeah, now this is something I have to do. Now there's no more questioning it. People are in it, so I want to be in it as well. Stephanie says, I made terrible meal choices this weekend. I'll start a fasting timer tonight after dinner, and we'll be aiming for a 2-day fast. I hope I can do it. And again, right, I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate many of you being vulnerable sharing this, because I know it's not easy for many of you. So you also know that when we make bad choices, it doesn't mean that life is over. It also just means that in the future, this is something that we need to continue working on. We need to be better about it. So again, right, whether you get a 2-day fast or not under your belt, let me know. Be accountable. And if you break early, then just do what you have to do, right? Learn to make better choices, learn to eat better. Understand that there are many other things that you can do for yourself outside of just fasting in that way. Sorry, everyone. The Instagram stream ended, which now kind of rings true for that 1 hour time limit. I always wondered if it was, and it looks like that's what's been happening. So, Stephanie, keep me posted. Keep me posted. North Dakota says, my fasting goals for February got messed up because of an infection and being put on antibiotics. And hopefully you're doing better, North Dakota. I'll have to adjust to March for weight loss goals. And I love seeing this too, though, because when I see this, when I see people sharing all of this, it's like, hey, you're in it. You're still here. You know that the journey doesn't end. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. Sherry Ann says, why is this not showing up? Sherry Ann says, I'm currently doing a 20-hour fast, new to fasting, so this is a long time for me. Listen, Sherry, there's no judgment. A 20-hour fast is still great, especially if this is something you're new at doing. A 20-hour fast is a great push. A 20-hour fast is building your fasting muscle, is working on it. And even for many people can do a 20-hour fast and learn to keep their weight in control, to learn to keep their blood work optimal. So do what you have to do. Keep us posted on your journey. Sherry Ann, thank you for sharing with us. Let me scroll down here. Adiva says, I ate bad today. So wanting to fast due to being out of town. I'm in North Carolina. Instead of OMAD, I've eaten all day. I wanted vegan food, so I had breakfast, then been grazing all day on it. And again, I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate being very open about what's happening. And so remember, a lot of what we do, a lot of why we do what we do is based out of habit. It is a habitual thing, right? So, and if I remember correctly, I know you travel a lot, I believe, right, Adiva? So like, think about what your habits look like. Think about how often it happens. Do you eat a certain way because of X, Y, and Z? And even if you do, sometimes I like to tell people too, if you know that's happening, it doesn't mean that you now have to fast. It doesn't mean that you have to not eat. Maybe it is eating, but it is learning to eat less. It is learning to eat at a shorter time frame. I mean, I know you're talking about OMAD, so you know this as well. It is about making small changes. It's about making better choices. So whatever that looks like for you. But again, I think a big improvement is just knowing that you're here and knowing I need to fix this. I'm being aware of it. I'm not pretending that it's not happening. I'm doing what I have to do. So continue sharing with us, Adiva. I appreciate the honesty. Thank you so much. Um, Spike always loves to just, I do whatever Jerome does. I believe I probably was saying, don't do what I do. You don't have to copy what I do. Spike always gives me a good chuckle. Lori says, I just broke a 45, enjoyed my refeed. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing with us, Lori. Thanks for being here. Crawl, how's it going? Crawl says, you got me. That's what I do. Scale is used while fasting. Again, this is, and Crawl puts this comment up here. I say this because I see the reality of it. I see this because I've done it as well. The only time I used to step on the scale was when I was working on a fast. The only time I stepped on the scale was when I ate well. The only time I stepped on the scale was when I got my workouts in. And I did not step on a scale when I decided that I didn't want to fast. I didn't step on a scale when I told myself I'm just going to eat whatever. I didn't step on a scale when I just wanted to lay in bed all day. There is a reason that even on the bad days, I step on a scale. Because the moment I step on the scale and I see that number and I see that number shoot up, I'm like, yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes I see that number and I'll be like, fuck. But then it puts this thing in my head where it's like, okay, Jerome, you cannot just let the days go by. You need to start doing something. It changes the psychological part, which is also a very important piece of this. This is why the psychological part is so important, why you have to always be aware. You always have to work on the mental part as well because it is just as important. If not, it's probably even more important because that is what gets us going. That's what gets us moving on what we're doing. Aisha says, I'm over 2 days fasted. I finally broke through my 5-day stall yesterday after my refeed on Friday. I'm now at 176 for the second day in a row, debating breaking on Tuesday, still going strong. Aisha, I love this for you because you are doing something different here. You are now working on, even though there's still longer fasts, you have learned to do shorter ones. You have learned to refeed. You have learned to just do things differently. And I love that for you. So I love you breaking these plateaus. I love you breaking new records. So continue to keep us posted, Aisha. Thanks so much for sharing. Thank you so much. Let me move down here. JC says, I stopped my binging this weekend with MCT oil. Even 20 grams really blunts the hunger. JC, thank you for sharing with us. What are your plans now moving forward? Keep us posted. Thank you for sharing. Grammon, am I saying that right? Hey, Jerome, I made a whole 24 hours. Congrats. Here's to a new journey. I love that for you. Please keep me posted. Keep me posted. Happy Bunny says, hi, I had one good day this week where I felt I ate well and moved well, which is progress. It is progress. I have some fun things this week to do. I made a soup for my week. I signed up for Pilates. I love that for you, Happy Bunny. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for always keeping us posted. I love to see the optimism as well. I mean, I know, I think we talked about this last time. I know it's hard to have a rough week and not beat ourselves up about it. I'm not saying that you can't either. If you're having a bad day, if things are rough, I want people to share. I want people to put that out there. But I also want people to not let it linger. Don't let it get to you. Know that you can still keep on working on you, on what you have to do. So thanks for sharing with us, Happy Bunny. Um, yeah, I wish I could. Thick boy says, will you live stream every day of the 5-day fast? I won't even be able to, because I'm not even going to be here every day for the next 5 days, because I am going to be in the middle. I'm not moving this week, but I have a lot of things in preparation for the move, and I will be in a different area for a couple of days. So I don't even know how the internet access is going to be. If I have time, maybe I'll think about it. And you know what? Even if I can't put a video out, maybe it just means that I put a live stream out really quick just to give you an update of where I'm at on my 5 day fast. So um, I'll keep you all posted. I'll keep you all posted. Uh, Ashna says, what about steps and lifting during the 5 day fast? So here's the thing, Ashna, and this is a good question. I'm glad you brought this up, because I'll talk about this too in the future. But here is what my goals are for the 5 day fast. Tonight, I'm still going to be eating. I'm going to be I'm going to be starting my fast later tonight. I will be lifting weights the day after my refeed. So I will be lifting weights at least for once during this 5 day fast, but just once, maybe twice at the most. Why? Because I don't want to be lifting when I'm doing a prolonged fast and I don't have the energy to do so. If I do decide to go to the gym, it will be to do something very light. As far as steps, my plan is no different. I'm still going to be doing 12,000 steps a day. If I feel off, if I feel like it's too much, then I'll take a break. Maybe I'll do 10,000. Maybe I'll do half of that. But during my prolonged fast, especially on days 4 and days 5, I will probably be taking it easy. I will probably be doing nothing but just relaxing and working, right? But that's how I look at it. I'm not going to be going full on whatever. I'm going to be busy on those days anyway. I have a lot going on during those days. So, but during days 4 and days 5, I'll probably be taking it easier than doing what I normally am doing. So hopefully that's helpful. Yeah, Erica says, would you recommend just doing walks so I don't spike my hunger? Yes, that would be my recommendation as well. If you are fasting for a longer period of time, take it easy on the prolonged days. Take some time to just relax, right? We don't have to go full out, because we're already in a fasted state. Take it easy. Take a walk, take your breaks, drink your 0 calorie drinks if they're helpful, whatever it might be to help push that fast. And remember, for many of you as well, if you want to modify the fast just to help you, modify it. There's no shame in it. And you know what? I say that even for myself. If for whatever reason I'm on day 4 and I want something like 100 calories just to like get me through it, I would rather have 100 calories than break with 5,000. I would rather have 200 calories than break with 6,000. Now, it's not something I've ever done before, but if that's something that happens, then I'll let you know. And I'll be very honest and open about it. Melly Mel says, oops, sorry. Jerome, I know you were on the north side in Chicago. Were you in the Lincoln Park area? No. I love Lincoln Park. I love all parts of Chicago. I mean, but I don't like to stay in areas that are completely gentrified. I much prefer being in areas where I can be amongst the people, if that makes sense. So just in case, I mean, I don't live there anymore, so I can be very open with where I lived. I lived in Uptown. If you're familiar with where Uptown is, so I lived in Uptown, which borders like Edgewater. It borders like I was right off the lake on the north side, not too far from Rogers Park, not too far from Andersonville, like all those areas around there. So just FYI. Let me just see here. Anything else? A says, I'm still doing short daily fasts and focusing on adding the right blend of protein and fiber to keep me satiated and avoid overeating. I love that. I mean, A has been doing this for a while now and has been tweaking her journey on a regular basis. I know many of you don't know this, but A is on our Wednesday evening autophagy live streams. A is probably, out of everyone, A has been the most consistent. A has shown up week after week after week. A is in maintenance mode, and A has learned to do short fasts and long fasts and learn how to tweak her diet, take supplements, work on strength training and cardio. A has shown what imperfect consistency looks like as well. So I say that to just give my flowers to A, because A is continuously showing up. So thank you for being here as always. Um, okay, I'm just looking at other comments here. I'm just trying to like talk to other people I haven't talked to in a minute. Sleck says, I'm joining the 5-day fast. My last few meals weren't so clean. Sleck, I welcome you to join. So keep me posted. And remember, again, like I've said to many of you, if you're not able to push the 5, that's okay, right? Just show up. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. I appreciate you all being here. Thick says, been struggling for the last 6 months, up and down on my weight, but I've kept off the majority of it that I've already lost, which I think is already a huge win. So don't let that get to you. My longest fast was only 3.5 days last year. I know I'm capable of more. Keep me posted, thick boy. Keep me posted. Let me know. For all of you who are in here right now, my challenge to you is the same, right? Our challenge right now is going to be doing a 5-day fast. That's the challenge. But a bigger challenge is, if you cannot perform a 5-day fast, can you still show up? Can you still be like, Jerome, I had to break early, but you know what? I refed and I'm just going to at least continue what I can do. Because there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what you should be doing anyway. If you're in here and you're feeling guilty about like, but what if I can't? And you know what? I'm just going to do a modified fast and I'll have like 200 calories. Listen, if that's what you do, come and tell me. Show up, be like, Jerome, I had to modify it and I felt guilty, but you know what? This is better than breaking and doing 3,000. I feel more energetic now. I feel like I have enough energy to finish the last 2 days. Because think about it, 5 days, 5 days of fasting, and you had 200 calories total in 5 days. That's amazing. That is a way to get the weight off of the scale. So do not think that you have failed just because you modified your fast. I'm just putting that out there. No judgment from me, no guilt, no embarrassment, no shame. Do not feel those things. Your goal is your own. Your journey is your own. Do not worry about what somebody else tells you you should be doing. Fuck them. Literally, fuck them. Not literally, but seriously. Seriously, fuck them. Because I say that because nobody has ever told me I should fast this way. Or if people tell me what I should or should not be doing, or how I should eat or should not eat, I would have never figured this out, because I do what I want to do. I know what's best for me. I continue to do what's best for me because that's what's important, because that's what's long term, that's what's sustainable. This person over here and that person over there does not know what long-term sustainability looks like for me. They might know what long-term sustainability looks like for them, but that is different from person to person. So keep that in mind on your journey. Andre with another $10 super chat, another support, another contribution. Andre, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Andre says, J-Man, you have a lot of Finally Fasting fam members excited about the 5-day fast. It looks like it. I see that. I'll be doing ADF still and the treadmill, your favorite. It is not. Andre, thank you for sharing your journey with us. Good luck with your move. I appreciate it. I'm not moving exactly just yet, but I am in the process. I am moving into a place where it is completely bare. That's what they call it here. So I'm moving into a place that has nothing in it, not even a fridge, not like an air con. They call them air cons here. We call them ACs back in the States. There's no, and even with a fridge, they call them refs over here. They call them a ref, an AC, a ref, air con, not AC. And so I have to get a lot of that stuff installed. I have to get stuff moved in. So I'm in the process of that at the moment. But Andre, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Thank you for your continued support as always. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see here. I lost my place because of the super chat. Hold on. I totally lost my place. Okay. Uh, Spike says, I'm having the Last Supper right now. Keep me posted on your journey, Spike. Please keep me posted. Grauman, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. Paradox says, I'm going to join the 5-day as well. I've been fasting since yesterday, so we'll be 6 days in total. Paradox, keep me posted. I love that. I love that we're all working together now to be like, hey, I'm in it. I'm in it. So I love that. I love that. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining with me. So Spike says, Jerome says fast, and I say how. Oh my God. Okay. Melly Mel says, I had hit my timer a few minutes before the live, but just had a protein shake to get a few more calories in since I'm going to do this 5-day timer, restarted for 20 hours. Let's go. Let's go, Melly Mel. Keep me posted. Spike says, Jerome, can you go live when you break your fast? We'll join you. I don't know, because usually when I break my fast, that's like my me time. And like, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. For now, let's just worry about the 5-day fast and then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Fran says, feast day today, and it's so tempting to join y'all for this 5-day fast, but I'm still trying to find a good rhythm with my fasting. And I think I might have found it. So I don't want to rock the boat. And Fran, perfectly said, don't rock the boat. Do what you have to do. Take care of yourself. I understand the camaraderie of doing this together. I know it's exciting. Even for me, it gets me excited now because I didn't realize that other people had maybe wanted to do this as well. But do what works for you. Keep working on you. So keep me posted. Thank you for sharing. Mrs. Angeles looks like she started already. I'm currently 4 hours into the 5-day. Let's go. Let's go. Keep me posted. Keep me posted. Okay, I'm scrolling down here just to see if I missed anyone. I think we're okay. So the fasting avocado says just came in. Does the 5-day start on Monday? So it's Monday for me already. And Spike was asking the same thing. So my day just started. I will not be starting my 5-day fast until later this evening. So for many of you, it's already Sunday night. And so maybe if you're eating your dinner tonight or you've already hit your timer, maybe you start your 5-day now, right? But here's the thing, for many of you as well, you do not have to start, because because Spike asked me, Jerome, when are you starting officially? Well, I'm going to be starting tonight, probably somewhere around 11 p.m., which will be for many of you 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. if you're in Eastern time, 9 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Chicago time, 10 a.m. New York time. You don't have to start in the morning unless you want to. If you want to do it when I start doing it, you can start around that time as well. But I don't even know for sure if it's going to be exactly at 11. It will probably be somewhere around that time. So some people have already started. Some people will start after they finish eating tonight. Maybe some of you want to start tomorrow morning after you eat breakfast and you want to go along with me. That's entirely up to you. So just putting that in there. And my goodness, well, I was going to say Wanda, but yes, I know you said it's okay. Wanda just donated a $20 super chat. Wanda with a $20 super chat says, just woke up, almost missed the live. Wanda, I appreciate such a huge, generous support. Thank you for the donation. Wanda says, 30 hours into a 48. I now have 4 months in working out and strength training every day. I love that. This, again, Wanda, is a big testament to imperfect consistency. Wanda has shown up here. And not only that, when Wanda shows up with a huge donation to tell me where she's at. Wanda has shown up some days not fasting super long, other days shorter fasts, right? Other days eating back-to-back days, but still continues to show up. Look at this, 30 hours into a 48, 4 months in, working out and strength training every day. That's amazing. Knowing that it's not just about fasting, right? Down 4 pounds, had 2 back-to-back weekends. See, this is exactly what I'm saying. Wanda is being very transparent about what she's doing. Attending events with wine and food, diet back on track. And this is what it's about. It's about showing up even on the hard days. It's showing up even when you're not doing what you thought you were going to be doing. So Wanda, thank you for the generous donation. Thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you. Melly Mel. Oh, goodness. I didn't even notice. Okay, let me get I didn't realize Priceman also just donated. Melly Mel with, because I like, let me just, Priceman, I'll get to you in a second. Melly Mel with a $10 super chat. Melly Mel says, thanks, Jerome, for all you do. I was contemplating a longer fast to finish the month of February. This was my confirmation. Listen, this is exactly why I'm doing a long fast right now, because I'm over my calorie limit, or I will be. And so because I've already hit my calorie limit for the month, I told myself, just fast for the rest of the month. I could do a 5-day fast. I've done 4-day fasts. I've done 7-day fasts. Hell, I did 4-day fasts back to back 35 times in a row. And some of those 4-day fasts were 7-day fasts. Some of them were 6-day fasts. So for me, I'm like, this should be, I don't want to call it a cakewalk, but we'll see what it looks like. Melly Mel, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you. We're doing this together, so continue to keep me posted. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the generous donation. And Priceman 5, I didn't realize it because I was like, wait, this is more orange than I saw. Priceman 5 with a huge donation as well with a $20 super chat. Priceman 5 says, hello, Jerome and Finally Fasting fam. I've missed you all. Priceman 5, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for showing up. I've been preparing for military retirement and have been effectively fallen off the wagon as a result. It looks like you've had a lot happening in between that time. This will be a huge life change, so any advice to get back on track is welcome. Priceman 5, you probably know this. You've probably heard me say this time and time again, but like, if you are looking to get back on track, my only advice to you is, if you're looking for accountability, show up here. Let us know. Just like other people are sharing their stories, share with us. I know what people's journeys look like because they tell me on a regular basis. I know when Happy Bunny posts. I know how she feels about certain things. I know what Aisha does, right? I know what Deja does. I know what Eric does. I'm very familiar with it because they show up here on a regular basis and they tell me. I know what Erica does. I can just continue naming names. When people show up on my Wednesday evening autophagy live streams, I know them personally because they even show up on camera, right? They're showing up with accountability in ways that maybe they haven't done before. So like, if you're looking for advice, my advice to you is just be here, right? Just hit a timer, just track, just be aware, just show up even on the hard days. And that's maybe that's even the bigger thing. Show up on the hard days. On the days that you are overeating, on the days you don't want to hit a timer, show up for yourself. Come here, let me know. Be like, Jerome, I'm having a hard day today. Today's a rough day today, because I will probably eventually read through it and I will give whatever advice or whatever encouragement I can give, because that is my goal, is to just help people get to where they need to be. You hear me preach about shorter fasts. You hear me about imperfect consistency. And then you'll also get this other side of me when I will push longer fasts, because you've seen me do it. Many of you have seen me do it. When I talk about doing this longer fast, even before I started talking about it, when I was just thinking about doing it, I was like, yeah, we'll see what happens. But now that I have everybody in here saying, I want to do it, I'm going to be, do you know how much that encourages me? Do you know how much that puts a light under my ass to be like, yeah, it's time to do it. It's time to show people like, hey, I'm in it. Let's do it. Let's get this done, right? So again, that is probably my best advice to you, is just do what you need to do. You know, you don't need me to tell you that fasting works, that eating cleaner works, that getting steps in works. What you need is, hey, be accountable. Hey, know that 2,000 steps is still better than 0 steps. Know that overeating by 500 calories is better than overeating by 3,000, right? Knowing that, hey, I want to eat an entire slice of this pie, but I can at least leave 1 or 2 bites away, and that's still better than eating the entire thing. It's about imperfect consistency in that way. Priceman, thank you for such a huge and generous donation. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Did I cover everyone's donations? I think I did. Oops. I just need to double check that I didn't miss anyone. Oh, Spike. Spike donated another $10 donation. Spike with the $10 donation. Spike, thank you so much. Jerome, why are you waiting until Monday to start? I'm not waiting until, well, it is Monday. I will be eating later tonight. Well, because I'm finishing my ADF. So I'm not really, yes, technically I'm starting on Monday, but technically I'm working on a fast right now. Technically, as you and I are talking right here, I am currently, so it's not like I'm starting, right? Am I right? I'm currently, if I can get this stupid timer to show up, it's Spike being a smartass. I'm currently 33 hours and 52 minutes fasted. So I'm not waiting till Monday. I'm currently fasting right now. So, eh, eh. Spike, thank you for the donation. I appreciate your support as always. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I see other people in here. Monica, thank you. I've been wanting to do a reset. 120-hour fast will be a great start, maybe once a month. Monica, there you go. I love it. Join us, join us. Ronnie says, I'm jumping in as well. Let's see how far I can go. And that's a really great way of saying it too, is let's see how far I can go. It doesn't mean that even if you don't complete it, don't feel embarrassed. Just get in on it. Just work on it, okay? Sad Eye says, I've been watching you for a while. Just did a 56-hour, and now I'm at a 24-hour fast. Gonna do another 20 hours before refeeding. I love it. Thank you, Sad Eyes, for sharing your journey with us. So I'm gonna go ahead now. We're gonna do fit check. It's already 11:23. I actually need to get moving because I have a lot to do today. So I'm gonna do this really quick. I'm gonna do fit check. What is fit check? Fit check's when I stand back here and to show you what I look like physically. Why do I do fit check? Because again, it is another way to be honest and transparent. Because I know what it's like to eat 8,000 calories, 12,000 calories, and then say, I don't want to show up the next day. I can eat 8,000 calories, 12,000 calories, and be like, I don't want to go out tomorrow with friends because I'm bloated. I feel this way. And that's why I do fit check, because that way I cannot run away. That way I will still wear a tight ass shirt and be like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still showing up. Spike, I have shit to do. And this guy is still donating. Spike with another $10 super chat. My goodness. Spike, thank you for the $10 donation. Spike with the $10 super chat says, Jerome, real talk. I've fallen off the fasting wagon and fell into the dieting dogma and gained some weight. And gosh dang it, enough is enough. Fasting works, calories matter, time to get shredded. I appreciate the honesty, Spike. I appreciate it. And, you know, I'm not here to judge, you know that. But I have seen you come in here and, you know, you'll talk about it and then I won't see you for a minute. And right, like, it's not that I don't see it. And I say that to many of you. I know the people who are in here regularly. And so, first of all, I appreciate the real talk. I appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty. And like, yes, you're talking about the dieting dogma, right? And sometimes we fall into these cycles. Sometimes we get caught up on what might be happening on YouTube or whatever, but like, I honestly believe that there is nothing better than just doing what you have to do on a regular basis, right? If you are still living that all or nothing lifestyle, and again, I know many of you want to do this 5-day fast with me because we're stuck in that all or nothing lifestyle. We're stuck in that cycle. This is why I think it's so important that if this 5-day fast does not work out, continue to work on yourself. And I'm going to say this as well. If the 5-day fast works out, if any of you are in here right now and you do this 5-day fast with me, right? Understand that you have to do something after that. What happens next? What do you do next? How will you make sure that everything you did for those 5 days continues to push forward through it? So just keep working on yourself. I am proof of that. I am proof that I am not perfect, but I have still continued to keep the weight off. So I appreciate you sharing with us, Spike. Thank you for being honest in that way, because I know it takes a lot to share things like that. So let's do fit check real quick. I've been overweight my entire life. You all know this. I have been not just overweight recently, but as a child, in my adolescent years. As a teenager, I was already morbidly obese. I'm 5'3", I'm short, but I weighed as heavy as 235 pounds in my teenage years, in my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. So as we do fit check, sorry for my messy bed, everyone. I know, I got up this morning and I was like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta put this together. I'm just gonna talk as I do fit check right now. I show those photos, right? I show you all of those photos of me being overweight, obese, morbidly obese, right? I show all of those photos so you understand that I have been like this my entire life. And now I have lost this weight and kept it off naturally for over 2 years, right? And like, I was like, oh, flex or whatever. But, right, like I'm not perfect. I still have bloat. I have loose skin. I have excess body fat, but I'm also wearing an extra small shirt. Most people cannot fit into shirts like this. This shirt is even smaller than my extra large children's shirt. So I'm wearing really small clothes, and I'm talking to you right now, having lost this weight, right? Even though, like, I know I'm not perfect and I'm okay with that, right? I realize that the whole point of this is to just keep continuing, keep working at it, keep doing what you have to do. I've lost this weight and kept it off. I've lost this weight and kept it off for over 2 years because I have been practicing imperfect consistency. Not because I turn away from this and say, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm not here today because I said, I'm going to start next week, right? I did give myself a day one, which I understand, but I have not wavered from that day one. I've told myself at this point, there is no more day one. At this point, it is just to keep working on myself, doing the best that I can. Now, the reason I talk about how I have done this naturally and I have continued to lose this weight or kept it off is because it's natural. I'm not on Ozempic. I am not taking medication. I've never had weight loss surgery. I'm not on TRT or HRT. I'm not on testosterone replacement therapy or hormone replacement therapy. I've done nothing, none of those things, right? I've learned to lose this weight and keep it off at 45 years old through fasting and through working on good, healthy habits. That's what it's taken for me to do. And I say this because for many of you who have told yourselves, I have been like this my entire life. Me too. I've been obese, morbidly obese, almost my entire life. So me too. And if somebody like me can lose this weight and keep it off for this long through fasting and working on good habits and breaking bad ones, that might be your answer. I'm not saying that medication isn't right for you. I'm not saying to get off of it. I'm not saying that Ozempic won't work. I'm not saying any of those things. I don't know enough about it to even give an opinion, except that I know that working on good habits and breaking bad ones, no matter what stage you are in life, there's nothing bad about doing something like that. So that's what it comes down to when it comes to this. Listen, everyone. This is where I usually take time and do Q&A, but I think I answered as much as I could. I also need to get moving. I have a lot to do today, but before I sign off, for any of you who are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can go over a game plan and a strategy to get you to where you need to be. Most people know already what they have to do. So most of the time, this is more of an accountability thing. This is more of, I hold you accountable. I give you some homework about filling and tracking your info and us going over it on a regular basis. If that's something you're looking for, finallyfasting.com. If you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, that is usually what this is for. Of course, I have as much knowledge and experience doing this for a while now, and I will share all of that with you, but a lot of this is shared through here as well. So if this is just helpful for you, show up here, be here, work with other people, build the community. So that's really all I have. If you wanted to support me in an additional way, you can go to the link in the live stream. You can go to the link in the description of this live stream to be part of the Finally Fasting fam. If you want to join us on our Wednesday evening live streams that are only for Finally Fasting fam members, you can go again to the link in the description of this live stream for more info. With that being said, it's time for me to sign off here. Like I said, I have a very busy day today. But before I go, I want to give a lot of thanks today. There were a lot of donations today. To Andre, thank you for your continued support. To Spike with a ton of donations today. So Spike, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for also being honest and sharing your story with us. To Wanda, to Priceman5, to Melly Mel, thank you all for your huge donations today. Thank you for your continued support. I appreciate all of you. To my Finally Fasting fam members, thank you for supporting me in that way.
And to all my regulars who share their story with us every time I go live, who are here to show up when I come live, I appreciate the support. It means so much to me. It means a lot to me that you're kind to other people, that you support, you help each other out. We joke around. I share a little bit of my life with you. I mean, I enjoy it. One of the reasons I do this is because I love the community, but it's also a way for me to vent. This is a very much a psychological thing for me. When people talk about losing weight and being motivated and being inspired, one of the reasons I do this is it's a psychological thing for me. When I do these live streams, do you know what it does for me? It locks me in. Think about how I just said earlier. Earlier today, I said, yeah, I'm thinking about doing a 5-day fast. This is what I'm going to do. And then all of a sudden, when people are like, me too, I want to do this. Let's do this, right? Now, all of a sudden, it's like the motivation's even stronger. That's accountability. That's why I do this. That's why I love to talk to all of you, because I'm trying to help you understand, show up even on the hard days. You've seen me come on these live streams when I don't even want to be here, when I'm half awake, when I want nothing to do with this, but I'm here anyway. So again, show up for yourself, show up for others, be accountable, work on imperfect consistency. Tonight, after my refeed, I will start a 5-day fast. I will try my hardest to update on a regular basis. So we're doing this together. But even if you're not doing this 5-day, keep me posted on your journey. Okay? That's all I got. I'm going to do my obligatory wave because I need to get moving. But I will talk to you at the very least, we will do this again on Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central. I will be live. So I hope to hear from you then. Keep doing what you need to do. I think that's it. Oh, wait, I have to clear some stuff out here. Okay, now it's clear. Now I can give my wave goodbye. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a good one, everyone. Take care. Bye.